must have seen this in every patisserie. This and a whole lot of variations of it. It is so popular in Paris. I was just there a couple of weeks ago. Every patisserie has them. It's made of choux pastry with a praline mousseline filling. And the praline is from hazelnuts. Very popular in Paris. It got its name from a bicycle race between Paris and Brest and back. 762 miles round trip. The record holder was in 1951. He did it in 35 hours and 55 minutes. It's kind of cute, isn't he? The traditional Paris Brest was invented in the early 1900s by Chef Durand, and it was 20 centimeters round to look like a bicycle tire in honor of this race. So preheat your oven to 425 and put on your beret. We're going to start with a basic choux recipe. Choux is the name of the pastry. You take half a cup of butter or a stick and melt that in with half a cup of milk and half a cup of water. It doesn't take very long at all. Now here comes the tricky part. Now add in a whole cup of flour. Stir vigorously as it all comes together. It happens really fast. And then stir for 1 minute longer. Stir it to dry it out. It's gonna get really hard and you're gonna get kind of tired. Then pour it into the bowl of your stand mixer and let it cool for 10 minutes. Then add 4 eggs, one at a time. It looks like it won't incorporate at first, but they do. Just one at a time. And you want to scrape down your bowl periodically just to help everything fully incorporate and mix in. Don't want anything hiding on the bottom of the bowl. Last egg. The eggs actually are part of the rising process. Now see how it's just dripping and dropping? This is the right consistency. And we're gonna have some fun piping it on. I'm drawing a bicycle here. Front tire, rear tire, brackets, the seat, and the spare tire that we all have. Then brush them with egg wash and sprinkle them generously with almonds. Some of them are going to fall off during the rise process while they bake. I'm not sure my handlebars look like handlebars. All right, and now just flick some water on because we're going to create some steam in the oven and bake for 15 minutes. Turn down the oven to 350 and bake for 35 to 45 minutes longer. And then poke a hole with a skewer in the sides to let out all the steam. You really want them dry on the inside. All right, and while the choux pastry is cooling, let's move on to this mousseline filling. It's so delicious. So you take 1 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of water, and heat this to 250 degrees. And this is why you want to have your nuts right on the ready, because when it hits 250 degrees, you need to stir them in right away. The sugar is going to crystallize around the nuts, but keep stirring. It's going to turn amber color right around 350 degrees, but keep stirring. And then pour it onto a baking mat and let it cool down so it hardens. I cheat and put it in the freezer for 10 minutes. And then break it up into a food processor and pulverize it. And there you go. It turns into a paste the more you grind it. Now to 6 egg yolks, add 3/4 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of cornstarch. This is going to thicken it right up. And you want to whisk it until it turns a pale lemon yellow. Now take the seeds of a vanilla bean and add that in, along with 8 ounces of your praline paste you just made. Oh, and any leftover praline paste goes really great on your toast in the morning. Add 2 cups of milk and heat this all until it starts steaming, which is around 160 degrees. And whisk constantly. Keep that liquid moving. Constantly stirring, you're gonna slowly drizzle in your milk mixture. This is called tempering. You're gradually bringing up the temperature of your egg yolks without making scrambled eggs. Oops, and get a bigger pan. And you're gonna pour it back in and bring it back up to 160 degrees. Constantly stirring. Now at this point, add 1/4 cup of butter. It's ready when it coats the back of a spoon. And pass it through a fine mesh sieve. This is going to catch any scrambled eggs we might have made and make for a silkier, smoother texture. And then cover it with cling wrap. Make sure it touches the surface so a skin doesn't form, and let it come to room temperature. So then just take the rest of your butter and whip that till it's nice and creamy. About 5 to 7 minutes. After 5 minutes, your butter is going to be light and fluffy and turn a lighter yellow. Look, here's a stick fresh out of the refrigerator so you can see the difference. And then just add about 1/2 cup or 1/4 cup at a time. All right, and now we just pipe it right on. But first, you take one of your wheels, cut it in half, and you can see it's hollow and finished on the inside. And you just make some pretty swirls. I like to be generous with my cream filling because it's so good. This is best the same day that it's made. So the day before, you can make the choux pastry and store that in an airtight container overnight. Same with the praline paste and the mousseline filling. You can make that too. Just whip it up into fluffiness and assemble the day you want to serve it. I hope you had fun today. If you did, leave a comment and boop that bell.